They're at the post, and the gate is rolling. Here they come for the first. Stormy's Girl is off stride. They're off and pacing. Dolly's Image goes for the lead. All-American Yenta gets away a close-up second on the far outside. These two come to the front as a team. All-American Yenta determined to have the lead and will get it by the end of the first furlong. Into the turn, All-American Yenta has the lead by 2 lengths clear for driver Andy Miller. Dolly's Image will go second. Toolin Around settles in third. They're all single file now. Fancy Rap is racing in fourth. Adara goes fifth. And Stormy's Girl has caught the field after that break. She is sixth, racing 7 lengths off the lead. 29-2 was the time for the opening quarter. All-American Yenta is on top by 2 lengths, heading up the back stretch. Dolly's Image goes second by 2.5. Toolin Around is racing third by 1.5 lengths. And here comes Stormy's Girl from last. Stormy's Girl takes to the outside, moves up from 6th into 4th, but she is parked with no cover. Now she's being sent. She kicks into another gear and is up to 2nd on the outside. The halfway point, Stormy's Girl is up to get the lead. What a move on the backstretch for Stormy's Girl. The question now, will she have enough left for the final half mile? The opening half in 59-1. Stormy's Girl by 1.5 lengths. All-American Yenta second, Dolly's Image third, followed by Toolin Around, then Adara up on the outside of horses, and Fancy Rap is shuffled out to last. And here comes Toolin Around off the rail now from 4th, midway on the final turn, now up to 2nd, trying to catch Stormy's Girl. At the 3/4, Stormy's Girl leads it by 1 length. Toolin Around second, keeping All-American Yenta pinned down. Adara moves up in the outer flow in 4th. They got 3/4 in 1:29-1. Stormy's Girl leads it by 3/4 of a length. Toolin Around goes second. All-American Yenta toward the rail in third. Then Adara, Fancy Rap up on the far outside. Final 8th mile. They're being led still as they drive through the lane by 1.5 lengths by Stormy's Girl. Toolin Around is second. She couldn't get by her. What a trip for Stormy's Girl. She has raced her heart out, and she's going to win it. Stormy's Girl, huge performance to win it by 2.5. Toolin Around was home second. Dolly's Image got third in 1:57 flat. Our ringmaster today is Stephanie McKinnon, and she is originally from Hardin, Illinois, in the western part of the state. She has just greeted winning owners Michael and Adam Nicely of Wheeler, the unofficial winner, number 2 Stormy's Girl. It is now official. Mike Nicely happens to be a nephew of driver John David Finn. Mike's mother, Ruby, who passed away a few years ago, was a sister to J.D. Adam Nicely, who is standing next to John David Finn, is cutting class to be here today, but we won't tell anyone. He is 19 years of age, just celebrated a birthday. He studies at Lakeland Junior College in Mattoon. His father told him, "Look, I've got 3 head of horses to race. I'm not one to interfere with your education, but we need your help today at DuQuoin." So Adam was kind enough to oblige, and as a result gets his picture made with this 2-year-old Stand Forever filly, who wins for the 4th time this year and the 2nd time in a row, and takes a new lifetime record of 157. The 2-1 exacta, $41.20. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Never a Message grabs the racetrack. Ms. Bossy Pants gets away, showing early speed as well. And there goes Ms. Bossy Pants up to take the top spot at the entry to the first turn. Jean's Finale will get a good trip in second. Never a Message backs off into third, followed by Jenny Sue, BP's Swinger, and Sportin' Diamonds is last as they go toward the quarter. Ms. Bossy Pants is on top by a length. Jean's Finale second a length. Never a Message third by 2. Then Jenny Sue, BP Swinger, and Sportin' Diamonds the opening quarter in 30 seconds flat. Ms. Bossy Pants guides the field onto the backstretch, leading it by a length and a half. Jean's Finale second, a length and a half. Never a Message is third by just over 2 lengths. Back to Jenny Sue, Sportin' Diamonds, who moves up fifth on the outside, and BP Swinger against the rail is last, 6 lengths off the lead. Approaching the halfway point, Ms. Bossy Pants is setting the tempo, leads it by nearly 2. It is Jean's Finale in second. Never a Message is still there in third. Sportin' Diamonds is fourth up on the outside, the half in 59 and 2/5 seconds. Ms. Bossy Pants leads the field to the final turn by a length over Jean's Finale, who's second by a neck. Sportin' Diamonds moves up third, and then Never a Message on the inside of BP Swinger, who's next to last and 4 lengths off the lead, placed toward the outside, but with cover. And Jenny Sue is last, but starts to move off the rail from there, 6 lengths off the lead. At the 3/4, Ms. Bossy Pants on a 2-length advantage. Jean's Finale is second. Sportin' Diamonds is parked third. 3/4, 128 and 3. Ms. Bossy Pants comes off the turn, leading Jean's Finale by a length and a half. Long way back to Sportin' Diamonds, BP Swinger, Never a Message toward the rail. Jenny Sue is on the far outside. Final 8 mile, and Ms. Bossy Pants leads by 2.5, trying to get free of Jean's Finale, who's in the second position, then BP Swinger third at the line. Ms. Bossy Pants wins it. Ms. Bossy Pants to take it by 3.5. Jean's Finale second by a head over BP Swinger in third, 156 and 4. Bred in Sherman, Illinois by Fox Valley Standard Breds. Ms. Bossy Pants wins her first purse start of the 2002 season. 2153 is the official result, and that victory will move Andy Miller into a tie with Dave McGee atop the driver standings, now with 3 wins apiece. Andy, by the way, is also currently in the top 10 among all dash-winning drivers in North America. He ranks number 8 right now for the 2002 season. Coming up later today, the County Fair Challenge races for 2-year-olds. Record purses this year for the County Fair Challenge Series. Here they come for the third. They're off and pacing. GA's Bold J goes for the lead. Machination is there toward the inside. Storm Chaser gets away third, moves up second in between horses as Machination has the lead into the first turn by a length. Storm Chaser goes second. Ag's Legend is settled toward the inside third. GA's Bold J is racing in the fourth position. Then a gap of 2.5 more to Taxi Dance. Another 3 back to Max, Jess, P-Punch, and Falcon Like trails the field. Here comes Ag's Legend. Ag's Legend, the favorite, is out and rolling at the quarter. 29 and 2 for that opening panel. Takes over from Machination. Ag's Legend on top by 1 length. Machination second by 3. Storm Chaser goes third by 2. GA's Bold J is fourth by 2.5. Taxi Dance comes next. And then Max, Jess, P-Punch, and Falcon Like is last. They're single file at the half. Ag's Legend is on top by 1 length. Machination is right there in second. Storm Chaser a closer third. GA's Bold J is fourth. Field is bunching up behind the leader as they move by the half in 59 and 2. Ag's Legend leads it by 1 length into the final turn. Machination goes second. Storm Chaser third. Taxi Dance moves up fourth around GA's Bold J. Falcon Like is in the outer flow of traffic with cover, 5 lengths off the lead. And Max, Jess, P-Punch is last. They're at the 3/4. Ag's Legend leads it by 1 length. Machination thinks about trying the leader, but now backs away again to the second spot. Storm Chaser picks up the tempo in third. They got the 3/4 in 129 and 4. Ag's Legend leads it a length and a half. Storm Chaser swings to the far outside of Machination, who's there in between horses. Coming to the 8th pole, Ag's Legend, Machination, Storm Chaser, then Max Chess, P-Punch, Falcon Like a wide 5th. Final 8th mile, Ag's Legend leading it. Machination is there. Ag's Legend by 1 length. Machination is second. Falcon Like from far back on the outside. At the line, Ag's Legend takes it. Machination was second. Falcon Like was third in 157 and 3. 127 is the official result. The winner, number 1, Ags Legend, is owned by Steve Newcomb of Chicago and Terry Duffy of Lamont, trained by Tex Motes of Fairfield and driven by Tony Morgan. This is a 3-year-old gelded son of Abercrombie. 157-3 for his second win of the year. We told you earlier about Andy Miller ranking in the top 10 among all dash-winning drivers this year in North America, and you're looking at the man in the winner's circle who is number 1 for all of North America in number of races won. Again, they're at the post for this trifecta race. They are an 1/8 of a mile from the start. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Fox Valley Josh for the lead. Al's Pride gets away second toward the inside. These two to the front. Everyone else quickly tries to settle into position. And Fox Valley Josh is still parked around the turn. Al's Pride lets him go. Tom Simmons leaning back in the race bike trying to get Al's Pride to restrain his early speed. Fox Valley Josh gets the lead. Simmons relaxes in the race bike with Al's Pride in second. And then there's a gap of 3 more lengths to R.J. Honor. Another 5 more back to Reigning Terror, Fox Mulder, and Joey Revrack is last. 29 seconds the time for the opening quarter. Fox Valley Josh is on the lead by a length. Al's Pride is second by 2. R.J. Honor is third by 4.5. Back to Reigning Terror, Fox Mulder, and Joey Revrack. After 3/8 of a mile, Fox Valley Josh shows the way. And Fox Valley Josh leads Al's Pride by 1 length. Another 2 lengths to R.J. Honor, who's closing that gap from third. Gap of 4 more to Fox Mulder, who moves up outside of Reigning Terror. And Joey Revrack trails after a half in 58 3/5 seconds. Fox Valley Josh on top by a length. Al's Pride second, 1.5 lengths. R.J. Honor third by a neck. Fox Mulder keeps moving up and takes over third, 2 lengths off the lead on the outside. Further back, Reigning Terror and Joey Revrack, who moves from last, next to last now, but 6 lengths off the lead. Fox Valley Josh, the leader by a length. Al's Pride needs room. He's locked in second by a neck. Fox Mulder is third. R.J. Honor drops off the pace, 3/4 in 1:28. Turning for home, Fox Valley Josh leads it by 1.5 lengths. Al's Pride is second, inside of Fox Mulder in third. Joey Revrack is now fourth. Final 8th mile. Fox Valley Josh leads it by 1.5 lengths. Al's Pride second by 2. Fox Mulder is third. Joey Revrack is fourth. Fox Valley Josh by 1.5 lengths. Al's Pride is second. Fox Valley Josh takes it. Fox Valley Josh by just over 2 lengths. And then it was Al's Pride in second, close for third, either Fox Mulder or Joey Revrack. The Tex Motes stable before branching out on his own and opening a public stable that he bases at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, and Rick is the winning trainer driver. Number 3, Fox Valley Josh, owned by Dale Richardson and Kenneth Schrock, a 3-year-old gelded son of Sportsmaster, bred by Fox Valley Standardbreds. Rick Schrock with the winning drive. Here they come. They're off and trotting. There goes Bowliner for the lead. New Jennings is off stride at the start. Bowliner gets to the front, heading into the first turn. Twisted and Bent comes out second, outside of Click Click Boom. Then Ruffian Ritz, followed by Raider Dan. GT's Ambition, who just made a break, is next to last. And New Jennings is back trotting, but last after a mistake, and racing better than a dozen lengths off the leader. Bowliner is on top by just over 1 length. Twisted and Bent settles down toward the inside into the third position, just behind Click Click Boom. Ruffy and Ritz behind that pair, then Raider Dan. 31 seconds was the time for the opening quarter. They hit the backstretch. Bowliner leads it, but now Twisted and Bent goes driving by to the outside, and Ruffy and Ritz is off the rail and moving up as well. Twisted and Bent leads it by a length. Ruffy and Ritz moves up on the outside. Bowliner shuffled to third. Click Click Boom is fourth. New Jennings is fifth on the outside and up within 5 lengths of the lead. Further back it is Raider Dan next to last, and GT's Ambition is last. Halfway home, it's Ruffy and Ritz who takes over by 2 lengths. 1:02.2 was the time for the half. Ruffy and Ritz leads it by 2 into the final turn. Twisted and Bent second, 1.5 lengths. Bowliner third. New Jennings catches a breather toward the rail in fourth after making up a lot of ground, and is followed by Click Click Boom, then a gap of 2 more to Raider Dan, and GT's Ambition is last. At the 3/4, it is Ruffy and Ritz leading it by 2 lengths. Twisted and Bent second, 1.5 lengths. And then Bowliner, New Jennings, Click Click Boom to the outside is still 6 lengths off the lead. 3/4 and 1:34. Ruffy and Ritz leads by 2 lengths at the head of the stretch. Twisted and Bent takes to the outside from second. 3 more back to Bowliner, then New Jennings and Click Click Boom. Twisted and Bent is chasing after Ruffy and Ritz in the lane. Bowliner is third. New Jennings is fourth. Here's Twisted and Bent forging to the lead in the final 8th mile. Ruffy and Ritz now second, then Bowliner and New Jennings. Twisted and Bent shaking free of Ruffy and Ritz. Twisted and Bent wins it by nearly 3 lengths. Ruffy and Ritz was second, New Jennings third in 2:03 flat. Unofficially, we now have a 3-way tie atop the driver's standings. Dave McGee, Andy Miller, and now Tony Morgan, with 3 wins each on the week here at the DuQuoin State Fair. This time, Mr. Morgan in the winner's circle with number 5, Twisted and Bent. Sierra Stable, Doug Jones, William Duke Johnston, and Marcia Calfin are the owners. Tom Harmer, a native of Detroit, Michigan, who has trained horses in Chicago for many years, is the trainer. In addition to being the co-owner, Sierra Stable is the stable name under which Tom Harmer operates, along with his wife, Debbie. This 2-year-old colt is by Armbro Charger, bred in Pennsylvania by O.L. Lasco. First win, second lifetime start. Result is still unofficial. Rolling. Number 3, Riverside Joni, the favorite, owned by Bobby Dexter of Paducah, Kentucky, who has owned standardbreds for 50 years. He is looking on from the stands as we get set for the 6th race. Here they come. They're off and trotting. 7th Score is first away from the far outside. Ariel's Betty down toward the rail gets away second, and Splendor Triumph is up close in between those two. In fact, there goes Splendor Triumph bursting through a crowd of horses to get the lead, and Splendor Triumph gets over toward the rail, leading it by just over 1 length. 7th Score dives over toward the inside and second by 2. Ariel's Betty goes third. Soup Bone Daiquiri is fourth. Touch of Source is racing fifth. Soup Bone Wabbit is sixth. She Will March On is seventh, and Riverside Joni, the favorite, is 8th and last, racing better than a dozen lengths off the lead. Soup Bone Wabbit just made a break. Opening quarter went in 30 seconds. Splendor Triumph is on top by a length heading up the back stretch. 7th Score goes second by 2. Ariel's Betty is third by 2.5. Then Soup Bone Daiquiri, followed by Touch of Source. 4 more lengths back to She Will March On. Another 5 to Riverside Joni, who at this point is still a dozen lengths off the lead. 3 more to Soup Bone Wabbit, who trails. At the halfway point, Splendor Triumph leads the half in 1:01 and 1. Seventh score is next. Ariel's Betty third, 2 more lengths to Soup Bone Daiquiri, touches Source, then she will march on. Riverside Joni still has more than 12 lengths to make up on the leader. Soup Bone Wabbit is last. Midway on the last turn, Splendor Triumph challenged by Seventh Score, who starts to range up alongside the leader. They're stride for stride. Seventh Score gets ahead in front. Splendor Triumph is second by 5. Then Ariel's Betty, touches Source, and Soup Bone Daiquiri. 3/4 reached in 1:32 and 2/5. Splendor Triumph and Seventh Score still battling the lead off the final turn. 5 more lengths to touches Source, Ariel's Betty, then Soup Bone Daiquiri in the 5th position. Into the final 8th mile, Seventh Score short lead. Splendor Triumph is fighting back on the inside. Splendor Triumph and Seventh Score, then touches Source and Soup Bone Daiquiri. Seventh Score gets the lead a half length from Splendor Triumph, then touches Source and Soup Bone Daiquiri at the line. Seventh Score gets it by a length. Splendor Triumph was second. It is close for third. Either touches Source or Soup Bone Daiquiri. As we told you yesterday, we like to recognize milestone achievements at the DuQuoin State Fair, and the young man who drives Seventh Score has just achieved one. This is the first winning drive at the DuQuoin State Fair ever for Stephen Halford II. Stephen, congratulations. And it doesn't matter how many races a driver has won elsewhere, and Steve has won his share on the county fair circuit. It's always something special to walk into victory lane at DuQuoin for the first time. This 2-year-old filly, Seventh Score, is owned by Iris Horowitz of Brooklyn, New York, trained by Steve Halford, bred by Rudy Hendricks and others in a partnership up at Camp Point, Illinois. Filly is by March 7th out of striking score by final score 203 and 1. Number 5, Splendor Triumph, was second. The 1, Soup Bone Daiquiri, third. Number 4, Touches Source, was fourth. Result is still unofficial. $1 exclusively from county fair purses this summer. They're at the post. The gate's rolling for race 7. Here they come. Miss Braveheart off stride. The rest are off and trotting. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Guns out for the lead. Miss Sullivan gets away second. Imanu comes out racing in third. Then Naomi Says No. Fox Valley Birdie on the outside as they enter the first turn. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Gets over toward the rail. Leads it by a length. Miss Sullivan goes second. Imanu settles third. Naomi Says No is racing in fourth. Fox Valley Birdie is fifth. They're at the quarter. Appealing Apple is racing in the 6th position. Never Chloe a close-up 7th. Then it's a long way back to Just Bambi and a huge gap back to Miss Braveheart, who made a break again midway on the first turn. 30 and 3/5 the time for the opening quarter. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Leads it by a length. Here comes Imanu off the rail from third to second, and Imanu is up to take the lead before the half-mile mark by a head. Never Chloe is moving up on the outside behind her. Now, here comes Zoom, 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 fighting back to challenge Imanu. They're matching strides up front. And then Miss Sullivan third, Never Chloe fourth on the outside of horses. Naomi Says No is racing in the 5th position. They're followed closely as they hit the final turn by Appealing Apple on the outside of Fox Valley Birdie, the half in 103 and 1. Imanu finally made the top by a length, but here comes Zoom, Zoom, Zoom right back to the outside to regain the lead by 3/4 of a length midway on the turn. Further back, Miss Sullivan is against the rail in third. Never Chloe is parked fourth. Naomi Says No is locked in fifth. Appealing Apple is 6th up on the outside with cover, but still 6 lengths off the lead. Zoom, Zoom, Zoom takes the field by the 3/4 by a length and a half, leading Imanu in second. And then Miss Sullivan third. Appealing Apple gearing up 3 wide from fourth, still 4 lengths off the lead. 3/4, 134 and 4. Zoom, 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 leading Imanu, then Appealing Apple up on the far outside. Zoom, zoom, zoom is off stride. Imanu to the front. Here comes Appealing Apple. Fox Valley Birdie in the center of the track. Appealing Apple to the lead. Fox Valley Birdie coming on. Appealing Apple, Fox Valley Birdie, then Imanu, followed by Naomi Says No with a late move. But at the line, Appealing Apple takes it by 2. Fox Valley Birdie was second. And then it was Naomi Cesno in third, the mile in 2:04 and 3/5. As most of you are well aware, grew up in one of the most prominent downstate racing families in the land of Lincoln. Fred has been having probably more fun the last couple of years on the county fair tour than he's had in a long, long time. This is a guy who has won such races as the $250,000 Orange and Blue, and he's been having a blast downstate. And he picks up a win here for trainer Bobby Decker. Put Fred Finn Jr. on her. When did you make that decision and why?
Well, I had 3 to warm up. Didn't have that much help. And I was driving one, and I don't like to drive back to back. And so I just put up Fred. And he drove her good at Springfield. You know, he was second with her, drove her good. So I put him back up.
And it pays off with a victory. He did a nice job. One more question. Somebody told me the other day that has known you a long time. They said Bob Decker hasn't changed a bit in the last 30 years. Do you still feel the same as you did 30 years ago?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I probably do more work now than I did then, but, you know, but that's the way it goes.
Well, Bob, you're one of the best in the business. Congratulations on the win. Bob Decker, he's our winning trainer in the 7th race. Miller as the winningest trainer in County Fair Challenge history. Buddy Simpson, also with 10 wins in the County Fair Challenge as a trainer. Right now they're at the post, the gates rolling for the challenge race for 2-year-old pacing fillies, and here they come. They're off and pacing. OG Susie P grabs the racetrack. Katie Bell is right there as well. Problems for Illini Jude, who is off stride at the start. Into the first turn, Patetico with a ground-saving trip moves up to challenge. Major Countess in between horses now gets the lead. Specially Fine is charging forward past those two on the outside. In the first turn, OG Susie P has just made a break. There goes Specially Fine up alongside of Major Countess, who has the lead 3/4 of a length, and Specially Fine is parked out, now finds a spot toward the rail. In second, 27-4 for the opening quarter. Patetico is third. Katie Bell is fourth. Apple Dumpling is parked and moving up fifth, 4 lengths off the lead. Zibber Bibber B moves with cover behind her, and then further back it is BP Silent Weapon. DP's May moves by her on the outside, 6 lengths from the front, and a gap of 10 more to Illini Jude, another 5 to OG Susie P, who is last after a break. Major Countess is on top by 1 length. Specially Fine is second ahead. Apple Dumpling is parked third. Zibber Bibber B goes fourth on the outside with cover, followed by Patetico, who's buried toward the rail, off the half in 57-3. DP's May moves up in sixth on the outside, still 4 lengths from the front. Around Katie Bell, who needs room, then BP Silent Weapon, Illini Jude, and OG's Susie P. Major Countess is the leader by 3/4 of a length. Apple Dumpling is there. Here comes Zibber Bibber B, 3 wide, and DP's May will come 4 wide behind her. And Specially Fine is looking for room. This race is still wide open. 3/4 and 128 3/5. Zibber Bibber B goes to the lead past Apple Dumpling, but here comes DP's May, then BP Silent Weapon. Katie Bell is way wide from 5th. Final 8th mile, DP's May goes to the front of the field, opens up by 2. Katie Bell on the far outside trying to grab second as Zibber Bibber B and Specially Fine are 3rd and 4th. At the line, DP's May takes it. DP's May by 2. Katie Bell was home second. It is close for third, either Patetico or Specially Fine for third. Into the winner's circle for the 8th race. Here's the 1A, DP's May. Clay Simpson with the winning drive. Buddy Simpson of Fairfield, Clay's father, is the co-owner along with Phil Pierce and Dixie Ackerman of Carmi, who bred this spectacular deal filly from the French chef mare, Rayley-Ann Ack. 9 wins and 13 starts now for this filly. 1/8 exacta, $41.80. You've had a storied involvement in harness racing, and you, if I remember correctly, had a connection to a horse named Ayers who won the Hambletonian and stood right here in this winner's circle for John Simpson in 1964. What was your relationship with that great trotter?
I was the blacksmith that shot him the day that he won down here.
Had to be a very special moment to shoe a Hambletonian winner. Not many people can say that. Folks, this gentleman from Fairfield is a veteran of the Korean War, longtime standardbred trainer. He's had a lot of success in this state. Buddy, you're a Class A gentleman. Congratulations to you and Clay and Phil and Dixie and the whole bunch. Good job.
Thank you much.
That's Buddy Simpson, folks, Fairfield, Illinois. Oh, Chip Hooray won the 2-year-old Grand Circuit race here last year before going on to win this year's Hambletonian. 12 noon Friday, 12 noon Saturday, World Trotting Derby Day. Today's 9th and 10th are yet to come. Race 9 is at the post, gates rolling, and here they come for the 9th. They're off and trotting. Drew's Wonder Boy left quickly along with Mr. Primrose on the far outside. Those two trying to clear all of the inside traffic before they get to the first turn, but Heather David and PTA are both there toward the rail. PTA moves up in between horses. Mr. Primrose trots by him on the outside, and there goes Drew's Wonder Boy up to third as Heather David settles back into the fourth position. Was Up Yankee gets away in good order in fifth and is followed around the first turn by He's No Shrimp, who's sixth. The gap of 3 to FF Black Magic. Sherry's Parson, Dangerous Bow made a break and is better than 25 lengths off the lead, and it's a long way back to Race with the Wind, who's last after a break, 29 and 2 for the opening quarter. And Drew's Wonder Boy was parked for nearly 3/8 of a mile, but now makes the top by a length and a half as they hit the midpoint of the back stretch. Mr. Primrose is second by a length. PTA takes to the outside third. Then Heather David, who starts to move up with cover behind him. They are followed by Was Up Yankee, who's racing 6 lengths off the lead. Then He's No Shrimp, FF Black Magic, Sherry's Parson, and a huge gap to Dangerous Bow and Race with the Wind, who's last. The half in 59 and 4. Drew's Wonder Boy leads by 2 lengths midway on the final turn. PTA second by a neck. And Mr. Primrose is toward the inside in third. Heather David will have to come 3 wide. Here he comes. He's fourth. And Heather David starts moving up. Some 4 lengths off the lead, however. And behind him, Was Up Yankee starts to pick off a few positions. He's now third out in the center of the track, but still 7 lengths from the front, and he just made a break. Drew's Wonder Boy leads by 5. Heather David has his work cut out for him. He's second, 3/4 and 1/30 and 3/5. Gap of 7 back to He's No Shrimp in third. Sherry's Parson has made up a lot of ground to be fourth. At the 8th pole, Drew's Wonder Boy leading Heather David by some 3 lengths. And then He's No Shrimp is third. Drew's Wonder Boy trying to give Clay Simpson back-to-back wins in the County Fair Challenge. He's going to do it. What a day for the Simpson team. Drew's Wonder Boy takes it by 5 lengths. Heather David was second. He's No Shrimp was third. And the time, 2 minutes, 2/5. The 1A Drew's Wonder Boy, 2-year-old gelded son of Lafayette Lobel, owned by Carl Monte of Depew, New York, and by Buddy Simpson of Fairfield, Illinois. Trained and driven by Clay Simpson for, unofficially, this 2-year-old's 5th win in 12 starts and a new lifetime record right at 2 minutes. Well, so often we talk about the guys in this sport. We were talking about Buddy Simpson last time with Winner's Circle, but a lot of times we neglect to mention the women who make the sport of harness racing great, like Buddy Simpson's wife, Doris. And the Simpsons have just accepted the trophy for the County Fair Challenge. A couple of weeks ago at the Illinois State Fair, when Buddy and Doris were not tied up taking care of horses, they were at the Horse Coliseum watching the Society Horse Show. True equine lovers, let's bring in their son, Clay Simpson. Clay, outside starting spot, post position 10. You look pretty determined to get the lead. Did you have any doubt you would get to the front of those opening strides?
Well, I wasn't sure. He wasn't leaving like he normally does, but he finally got there. And I think J.D. let me go, and that helped. And I was surprised that they didn't keep up better than they did. He surprised me. He can trot more now than he can.
Well, you got to the half in 59 and change, 59 and 4 at the half. Did you expect to set that kind of tempo?
Not really. I was trying to back him up a little bit, and then Mike started trotting at me a little bit, and I decided I'd just go on instead of pulling it out of him. So it worked out.
And it worked, and that's the main thing. 4 Simpson horses. They all 4 get checks, 2 wins. The winners alone combined to gross $15,000. We'll let you get going. Congratulations. Time to go celebrate.
Thank you.
That's Clay Simpson, our winning trainer and driver. The rundown is next. This summer has seen one of the finest crop of 2-year-old pacers on the fair circuit in some time. Fox Valley Jacob, 12 for 14. TJ's Eddie Mack has broken a couple of 2-year-old track records on the fair tour. Black Oliver, 7 for 11. Can Tattle, 5 for 9. Silent Steel, 12 times first or second. Lucky Image, 8 for 9. Holly Hill Amigo, 8 times first or second. Rappin' Banjo, 6 times in the top 2. And Little Man Alex, winner of the Illinois Stallion Stakes. They're at the post, the gates rolling. And here they come for the finale. Racing to resume on Thursday at noon. They're off and pacing. Holly Hill Amigo grabs the racetrack. TJ's Eddie Mack and Fox Valley Jacob are right there. And there goes Fox Valley Jacob diving toward the rail, gets to the front to take the lead. TJ's Eddie Mack moves up on the outside into second. Now he's going toward the top. Holly Hill Amigo is still parked third. Silent Steel has a ground-saving trip in fourth. Little Man Alex is fifth. A gap of 2 to Tats Cat, who is sixth. Can Tattle is racing in seventh. Lucky Image is eighth. Black Oliver is ninth and moves up around Rappin' Banjo, who is 10th and last. 28 seconds for the opening quarter, and Holly Hill Amigo has made the top by the time they reach the backstretch with TJ's Eddie Mack in second. Here comes TJ's Eddie Mack right back to the outside to regain the lead after 3/8 of a mile. TJ's Eddie Mack and now Fox Valley Jacob moving up on the outside into second. And Silent Steel starts to drive from third up on the outside of Holly Hill Amigo. Here comes Little Man Alex moving up in the outer flow with cover. He's fifth. He's 4 lengths off the lead. Tats Cat moves up toward his inside. And then Can Tattle, Lucky Image, who's 9 lengths off the lead. Rappin' Banjo toward the rail. Black Oliver is last, but he is 10 lengths from the front. 57-1 was the time for the half. Fox Valley Jacob on top by 1 length midway on the final turn. Silent Steel is on the outside challenging TJ's Eddie Mack for second. Little Man Alex is fourth behind that pair outside of Holly Hill Amigo, who needs more room. Then Can Tattle and Tats Cat. Tats Cat looks for room toward the inside, still 5 lengths off the lead. 3/4, 126-2. Fox Valley Jacob, Little Man Alex gearing up, and TJ's Eddie Mack in between those two. Fox Valley Jacob leads it by a length. Here comes TJ's Eddie Mack off the rail from second. Little Man Alex is third. Late move by Black Oliver on the grandstand side. Here comes TJ's Eddie Mack to challenge Fox Valley Jacob, who still has him by a length. Then Little Man Alex and Black Oliver. Fox Valley Jacob is tough. TJ's Eddie Mack is second best today. Fox Valley Jacob wins it by 1 length. TJ's Eddie Mack was second, close for third. Either Little Man Alex or Black Oliver for third in 154-1. He attempted to say it, and as a result, the name Fox Valley Jacob was attached to this 2-year-old colt. Those children were and are the grandchildren of Dr. Kenneth and Patricia Walker, who along with son Jimmy bred this 2-year-old Sportsmaster colt into the winner's circle for the County Fair Challenge Race 10, driven by Fred Finn Jr. He's also the trainer, owned by Bobby Dexter. Fox Valley Jacob. Number 6, TJ's Eddie Mack was second. Number 3, Little Man Alex was third. The 1A Black Oliver finished fourth. Result unofficial. Brenda Watson of the IHHA from Fairfield making the trophy presentation to Bobby Dexter. Let's get a word with our winning owner. Bobby, told the crowd earlier, 50 years in the standard bred business. You've owned a lot of nice horses. Where does Fox Valley Jacob rank on that list?
Well, one of the best 2-year-olds I've ever had. And he's an excellent Illinois bred colt. He just wasn't staking the major races.
When you were watching from the grandstand and Fred Finn Jr. got this colt right to the front, he got shuffled back to third. Were you glad to see Freddie get off the rail and take the lead again before the half?
Yeah, I was, really. He's pretty good on the front end.
He is. He's been very tough on the front end. So good, folks. This colt has won 13 out of 15 races. Bobby, we say it before, a lot of people like yourself who don't live in Illinois have invested very heavily in Illinois breds. You've helped support this program. Tell everybody back in the Bluegrass State we said hello, and we hope to see you back here in the Winter Circle again.
Thank you, Karen.
That's Bobby Dexter, Paducah, Kentucky. He's our winning owner. More in a moment.